What is going on? Y'all already know it's your boy Morbius, and y'all already know where you're at. It's Tuesday, Comic Relief, and today is episode 26. We're talking about speculation. Let's get into it. Let's go. Y'all already know. I'm just gonna go right into it. I'm gonna just bring out my co-host. Let's bring out Michelle. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Morb? I love that intro.
Thank you. Shout out to Chamorro. He hooked it up. He came through today. He was like, "Yo, here you go." So I was like, perfect timing for the show. So I'm excited about it. So salute to him. His link is actually in the description below. So make sure y'all check him out on Instagram and on YouTube.
Super dope. I love that.
Man. So yeah, thank you guys once again. This is episode 26. Of course, my co-host for today is none other than MoonlitComics. She's over here. MoonlitComics, as you well know, as Michelle. So thank you, Michelle, for coming on. Thank you for helping me hold it down for today's show.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited for our special guest too.
Yes, definitely. Me too. Man. I felt so bad. We've been trying to get this brother on for so long, and just life continually keeps getting in the way. But finally, we have the brother here in the building. Shout out to Soul Collector. What's good, my brother?
What's going on, man? Yo, the intro was freaking fresh as hell. Yo,
Thank you,
I love
yes.
the intro. I love it.
Man, that was Chamorro right there, bro.
Yo, Chamorro, you're the man. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, he came through with that one, man. And but yeah, brother, but got you here. I'm excited. Finally, we got you in the building. You know, and it's been a long time coming. And of course, today, you know, we're going to talk about your favorite subject, speculation.
I have some opinions.
Yeah, of course. We all do. And but definitely, I just want to give a shout out. Let's see who's in the building. Let's see who's in the chat, who's riding out with us. Of course, got to give a shout out to the homie PJ. What's up, Big Paul?
What's going on, Paul?
Yeah, you already know. Of course, the homie Jason always riding. I'm telling you, that dude is a gangster, man. Watch out for Jason, man. You better watch how you talk to him, man. And of course,
Lucy.
That's good.
Hey,
Thank
girl.
you so much for coming through. Appreciate you. Of course, we got the homie Big John in the building. You know, always representing. See who we got here. The chat ahead of me here. Oh, of course, we got the homie Coffee and Comics always representing. That's what's up.
Yes, hey.
Of course, the homie Brandon. What's good, brother?
Brandon.
Always in the building, showing love. And yeah, I think that's it. Caught up. Got 6 people in the building today hanging out with us. Appreciate you guys and those catching the replay. Appreciate you. And yeah, don't forget to hit these people. Their link is in the description. Make sure you follow Moonlit. Make sure you follow Soul Collector. Hit them up. Show love. If you're not already, for those catching the replay. And we got, of course, hold on. Got Spiders Comics in the building. What's good, brother? So, I mean, let's just dive right into this. You know what I mean? Let's just cut the chat. Oh, well, before we do.
Yes, I was going to remind you.
So, do you have anything to drink? Because I know we had a little thing going on behind the scenes, so I just want to make sure you had your drink.
Yeah, he's ready.
We ready. What you drinking there, brother? What is it? Oh,
root beer.
I don't drink. So
you don't drink. All right.
I don't drink. It actually worked out. It actually worked out. We had some shitty root beer the other night. We got stuck with some Diet Barks root beer. It was terrible. It was flat. I stopped. I made dinner tonight, and I was like, you know what? Let me get some better root beer. Worked out. I got something to drink tonight.
All right, that's what's up, man. Shout out to John, bro.
Hey, John, you're crazy.
Definitely an upgrade.
Nah. Hey, root beer is always good. At least you have something. Yeah. So cheers, guys.
So what you drinking there, Michelle?
I have a Dogfish Head mango smoothie. It's like a tart ale.
Oh boy.
You know how I roll with my beers.
9%, 12%.
No, it's actually 6.5.
Oh, is that all?
Yeah. That's it. Nothing crazy.
You know, I'm over here, of course, as y'all know, we're sipping on my Hennessy VSOP. That's all I drink. So Yeah, I mean,
what about water? No water, nothing.
We got water.
At work, sitting there. Just
This
dude was just sitting at work with Henny, just like.
We're not fronting. We ain't fronting like that. But cheers, salute to everybody.
Salute
to everybody in the chat.
Yes. Cheers to episode 26. Is it?
Yes, episode 26. Salute to Ragin in the building.
Hey, Ragin.
What's going on? Appreciate you listening, brother.
Oh, Chef. Hey, Chef.
What's good, brother? Salute, man. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you. So yeah, speculation. It's a lot of it going on. I mean, I think the foundation pretty much right now of where we at in the comic community has a lot that's built on speculation. You know, I think when you look at speculation as an overall picture, you're looking at it as based on even yourself. We all are pretty much a victim of it when you go and look into comics or something that you hear from the grapevine, something that's coming down the pipeline based on it could be a TV show, movie, whatever it is. You know, there's always a speculation behind it. So I think that speculation is very deep and engraved in our comic community. You know, and
are we talking? Are we not to interrupt you, but are we talking specifically like a movie speculation, TV speculation?
No. It's in general. I'm just saying in general.
Hype behind the characters.
Right. It could be into anything. It could be whether it's movie, TV. You know, whether it's just speculation on just from one comic book story to another. What's going to happen? Whatever it is. You know what I mean? Okay. It doesn't necessarily have to tie into that. I'm just saying in general, the term speculation as a whole, I think is very engraved in the comic community now, you know, where we at, you know, based on where we were, you know, and I think that right now speculation is for me personally, it could go either way. But before I go into how I feel, let's see what Michelle is feeling first. I want to ask you, and then we'll go to Zove. So Michelle, what's your take on speculation, whether regardless is based on movie, TV, storyline, or whatever it is, you know, what's your take on it?
So like in general, like we were saying, all the above, speculation in general is a huge part of the comic hobby and of this community. And I do have to say that anything I say tonight is an opinion. I mean, that's what this show is about, right? Our opinions on certain topics. So my opinion as a new collector is just what I've observed so far in the short time I've been around. So as far as is it healthy or harmful, I lean more towards the healthy side of things. You know, as I was kind of brainstorming and thinking of topics I wanted to cover, most of it fell to the healthy side. There are some things that I feel like aren't so good when it comes to speccing. But of course that could be with any topic, you know. But I mean, I do have quite a few, reasons why I think it's good for this community. I mean, it fuels the market. I mean, that's obvious, right? I mean, for sellers and buyers, it's fueling the market. And a lot of it does have to do with the TV shows and the movies. I mean, without the MCU, I don't think we'd have nearly as much speculation going on as we see now. So, I mean, that's huge. And it creates content for this community. I mean, how many YouTube shows do we watch that have, top 10 lists, key comics to invest in, like under the radar keys, first appearances, like all that stuff. It creates content for YouTube, for Instagram, which is a great thing. I mean, this community is awesome and we need stuff to talk about, and it can be super fun to discuss those things. It doesn't always have to revolve around the financial aspects, I think, either. Like, it can just be a fun thing to discuss. And if it helps you invest in books, when they are under the radar, or when they are at a low and you can make some money later, or whether you can just enjoy and see your investment grow, that's a huge bonus. And for me too, I think it's been able to help me prioritize kind of what I want to pick up first on my wish list, depending on the rumors I hear or who may appear in shows or movies down the line. Like, I right now would rather invest in and finishing my Werewolf by Night runs, just because of the rumors we're hearing him, maybe making an appearance down the line versus finishing my Swamp Thing run. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of pros to it. I'll leave it there for now because I have a few more points that I'm going to touch on, but I kind of want to see what Sov's like kind of initial overview is first.
Yeah, so
I'll start by saying there's a couple things. Michelle, you wanted to know the story about my big ass pile of Marvel Spotlight 5s.
Yes.
So I can cover that. And I'll start with someone just made a comment about we're all guilty of it. I'll start by saying I'm a big ass hypocrite. It's I hate speculation for many reasons. I shouldn't say I hate it. I don't like it. Has it helped some collectors out? Yes. Around 2011, 2012, nobody was speculating. Iron Man was out, and they had, a couple movies by that time. But nobody cared about the comics, and there wasn't a lot of speculation, a lot of hype. Nobody was kind of translating the movies, who's going to come out next. It was just kind of, we like the movies. They're fun. Everybody enjoys them. I was just all about my comic book grind, and I was picking up Marvel Spotlight 5s for $50, $60, $100. Nobody cared. I used to print off the eBay sell sheet, whatever the hell. I printed off a sheet of what I paid for it and the date I bought it, and I'd stick it in the back of the bag and board. And I just found one the other day, $49.99 for a VG copy.
Oh wow!
I dare you to find one today for $50. Like, not happening.
Maybe a corner of a page.
Yeah. Listen, hey, if anybody's interested, I've got 4 Marvel Spotlight 5 staples. Just the staples. Just if somebody's interested in just staples, I got them. 4 of them.
You got them.
$2.
Staples. 2 of those books I had happened to be coverless copies. I took an X-Acto knife, cut them down the middle, and framed the entire comic. So, But I bought one of them. I bought for $7. I just saw it for $300 the other day. It's coverless. It's beat. It's not even a whole ass book.
Okay, but you bought so many copies of that back then. Before the MCU was what it is today. Why did you buy so many copies of it?
Because I didn't know what the hell to do with myself. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna have a whole ass load of them. I don't know why, but they're cheap. I'm gonna just have them.
What's your favorite character? So I guess that kind of that's a huge reason.
All day, Spider-Man all day. I love Ghost Rider. I fucking love Ghost Rider. I can't get enough of the character, and all of them. Johnny, Danny, Robbie, Michael Battolino, Alejandra, the new Kushala, all of them. As long as it doesn't have to do with Jason Aaron's made up ones, but that's another story. Speculation to tie up what I did with all those Marvel Spotlight 5s. Yeah, I cashed in. Robbie Reyes was gonna get his own TV show on Hulu 3 years ago, 2 years ago, right around then. They were gonna do a Werewolf by Night. They were gonna do all these shows. Everybody needed a Marvel Spotlight 5, even though that has nothing to do with Robbie Reyes. Everybody needs a Marvel Spotlight 5. I needed a Gentle Giant Ghost Rider statue. I needed a Chrome Bowen Ghost Rider statue. I needed a handful of missing action figures. I sold all my Marvel Spotlight 5s due to speculation, kept a couple copies, bought all this crap that I normally wouldn't pay that much money for. So you've seen a bunch of statues on my Instagram. I'm not rich. I'm week to week over here. But because I did that, and because of speculation, I was able to sell them. As far as speculation, what I don't like about it is, and what I should say is, my hope, and I talked to a lot of the people that bought those books from me, they were fans of the character. They weren't speculating. They wanted this book, and they wanted to get in on this book before the prices got out of control. And I wanted to make sure that I put those books in the hands of fans of the character, readers, collectors, not people who are going to go, all right, I'm going to sit on it for 6 months and I'm going to flip it and try to make, double my money.
Yes.
Where I get really disgusted with the speculator market is it's nonsense, and it makes it harder for collectors like us. Both of you two are hardcore collectors. I know both of you watch the movies, you watch the shows, you enjoy them, but your heart's in the comic books. And I hate seeing certain people, some people don't have the money to go out and get an Ultimate Fallout 4, but God damn it, do they love Miles Morales? Do they feel that character? Like, this is their guy. Like I am for Ghost Rider. I can't imagine a life without, since I was 8 years old, I've been following this damn character. 30 years now, I've been obsessed with this character. There's somebody out there who will never be able to afford a Miles Morales first appearance. And that kills me. Somebody who's buying and trying to find and get their hands on every appearance, every book, read till their soul's content because of how deeply they care about this character. That kills me. But I'm a reader. I'm a fan of comics. I can't afford an Ultimate Fallout. But you know what I can't afford? I can afford a reprint. That's right.
That just
comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Oh,
comes out tomorrow. But I already got mine.
Yeah, he got his already.
Yeah, I get my books early.
It's definitely a big downside. One of the few that I had on my list was the fact that it makes it harder for people who love certain characters or certain runs to fill those runs or to get those first appearances when the market goes crazy because of speculation. Yeah. And we can't go back and buy a book 10 years ago, but we can try to prevent that from happening in the future now that we have seen the trends and seen what is happening, right? So if we have the availability to get information and to, watch certain shows or track certain news, and we can say, maybe I should pick this up now based on this info, and then maybe I'll be happy in 6 months or 2 years from now when I see that book has gone crazy with the speculative market.
With that being said, I saw you recently just picked up a Moon Knight, Mark Spector Moon Knight, the splat cover, Stephen Platt.
Right.
If you don't mind my asking, how much did you snag that for?
So I ended up having to pay $70 for it. And this brings me to another point on my negative list is that sometimes the speculative market makes books skyrocket that either I feel like are premature, like brand new books that haven't even hit the shelves yet, which is nuts, or books like high print 90s run issues like that, where I feel like that book shouldn't be more than $15 at the most. But I want to collect that run. I need it. I figured, that's less than I saw it going for on eBay, so I'm cool with it. But I see where you're going there.
So my shop has one on the wall right now, $100. And if I went in and talked to my guy, I could probably say, listen, let me give you 80 cash. And he'd probably let me walk out the door with it. Right. But if I got 80 cash, I'm working on Daredevil right now. Like my focus low key is not because of speculation. It's more FOMO, a different kind of FOMO. I like Daredevil. Chip Zdarsky's run has renewed my love. And I should say, I'm nuts for Ghost Rider, but I read everything. I'm reading Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel. I'm reading Spider-Woman. I'm reading Avengers sometimes. I'm all over the map with, the Marvel Universe. But I can only afford so much. I buy my new books. I buy my back issues when I can. Like right now I'm working on the 98 Daredevil series. Nice. Mark Spector Moon Knight is now off the table. I've got probably 3/4 of the run, but when I saw that book hit 80, never mind. And a lot of those later issues, you're talking about, $20, $25 a piece because low print run. there's in my thoughts, there's you know, there's a million regular comic book reader collectors out there. But you've got people, because of the speculators market, we're talking about 50 million people buying up books that they don't care about. I'm throwing random arbitrary numbers out there, but there's definitely a large influx of people buying things for value. And it hurts me, and I see it hurt other collectors.
Yeah. I feel you there.
You know, taking away, you know, all right, you know, I know you love Moon Knight, and I'm happy you snagged that book. I'm glad you can check that one off and say, all right, I never have to worry about that one again. That's such a good feeling. It just sucks. You know, I'm not going to be butthurt. I'll keep on living without that issue.
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm a completionist, like a lot of us out there. Yeah. You know, I finished the volume one run, so I need to finish the Mark Spector run. So I figured, I just had to bite the bullet and pick that up now before it got even crazier, because of a homage cover by an artist. I don't know. You never know. Books pop off and get hot for reasons that don't make sense. And what does bother me, like you said, Sov, is when people are buying these books when they don't even give a shit about them, just to flip and make money. And you know what? If you're in business for business, and you are just investing in comics because you want to make money, that's cool. But you know, it's hard to kind of hate on that, but at the same time,
hustlers are going to hustle.
It does hurt people like us that are in it for the love of the hobby.
So it was something so like what you said earlier, you know, when you was talking about the speculation where you got rid of books where at a time where it was some speculation going on. So that was an opportunity for you to get rid of books. So in that sense, playing like the devil's advocate here, I look at it where, you know, as far as speculation goes, when you look at it overall, it benefits, you know, the business side of it. It's beneficial more to the business end, to the seller, to the retailer than the customer or the collector. You know, like, you know, I think that's very important here, you know, to kind of like
to bring it back, you know, like you just said,
that, you know.
I'm all for, you know, when, you know, my shop right now, their wall books are looking beautiful. I mean, they got $100, $150 books left to right. A lot of them are assy books, like, you know, that Mark Spector Moon Knight book, $25 because it's a dope cover. Hell yeah. $100? No, there's enough of them to go around. You know, Amazing Spider-Man 4 is the only book I'm missing, is from 500 to current. I've got every single book, and I'm trying to work my way back, but that one ASM number 4 from you know, first appearance of Silk. But here's the thing, my shop's got it on the wall for $200. I'm not dropping $200 on that book because I know there's plenty of them out there. But if he gets $200 from it, I still got a shop to go tomorrow and bother this dude and be like, hey, what's going on? You know, blah, blah, blah. Here to talk comics some more. So I'm all for that side of things. I'm all for shops. You know, personal hustlers, I get a little salty about it. You know,
if you have a good mix, though, between collecting and wanting to maybe spec a little bit so you can fund your hobby, I'm cool with that. But I think there is kind of a fine line when people get too obsessed and all they're doing is speculating to try to make money and stuff like that. You know, I'd be so happy if one of you bought a book at $3 and then a year later we're able to sell it for $500 and take that money, just like you did with your Marvel Spotlight 5s.
Yeah.
You know, that's really cool. And if you can get on that end of it, it does benefit the buyer, the collector, the investor. But either way, if my local shop can make money for a certain book they have 10 copies of that all of a sudden pops overnight, hell yeah. You know, we got to support our local business.
Anyway. It's the local shop. You shop there all the time. You're going to get a good deal anyway, so you might as well get
daily.
You know? You know, I think that's very, but like, as this, so like, you got your pros, you got your cons, you know, but Now, when you look at it, I feel like there's like 90% con compared to pros when on the overall spectrum of how people feel. You know, it's if you're not, like I said, if you're not on the seller end of it, you know, it's not gonna do really nothing for you other than hinder your collection when you're trying to like you fill these runs, you know, and or you're just trying to get a book in general. That's just a book that you're after, and it just got so hard for you to get. Like Michelle said, books before they even drop, they're already, you know, coming out the gate on fire. You know, you're just like, bro, this is a $5 book, man. Like, it's not a fucking $300 book. Like, what the fuck is going on?
And we've all heard, at least we've either seen it ourselves or heard stories of shops getting shorted books, you know, only to have them turn them up on the wall next week. You know, $20 for this book that came out last week. No, you know, that's a shop that should not be supported. You know, there is other ways to get books. That pisses me off. That I think everybody can agree on that.
Yeah, that's bullshit for sure. But I did want to say that the same thing that makes it hard for us to go back and buy certain books that we need for our runs or that we love or that we need. I mean, that's in hindsight. You know, we can't change what the market has already done. And the MCU and these shows have been around for so long. We can't go back 10 years and buy all these books that have already blown up. Yeah. But at the same time, we can sit here and try to play the same game going forward for stuff that we don't have yet by paying attention to the information that's out there if you take the time to seek it out. So it's kind of like the don't hate the player, hate the game type of thing, you know? And it sucks, but it also can benefit you at the same time. So.
I'm doing that more now than ever. I guess because after the pandemic, like you was more stuck at home, you was more just not really able to do much. So my time spent just looking for stuff like ahead of time. I was trying to stay, you know, months ahead, you know, and even my homie Crash, who's in here, me and him will go back and forth constantly and be like, hey, did you hear about this news? You know, do you have this book? You know, I suggest maybe you might want to look into this, but it wasn't like heavy where it's like, yeah, we're going to get these books and we're going to like buy 5 of them. And I'm going to
buy 15 copies and post them on Instagram. Like, look at this, look, you know.
Right, exactly. It's buying one book, you know, or I'll pre-order another one for the homie Crash, or he'll do the same for me and I'll send it to him or he'll send it to me if he couldn't get it, you know, and that's the way we would do it, you know, so, and we still do, you know, so but it's not heavy in the sense where we're like, fucking all day speculating, trying to get. No, it's every once in a while you hear something or you see something, or like Michelle said, something that you're interested in. Me, I'm interested in a lot of things. Unfortunately, can't help it. You know, I'm a Virgo, so I'm like everywhere.
Yeah,
you know, I can tell shit. Like I'm everywhere. It's like I'm trying to complete like 50 runs and shit at once. And,
right.
You know, and then so, but. Whenever I fall into one of those, like I get into like a mode, like where I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna focus on this run for like 3 weeks, because that's pretty much my like attention span. It's like 3 weeks, you know. After that, then I'm on to the next run, and then then I get distracted, and oh shit!
But like I said, you know, the speculation market or the the news, it can help you prioritize.
Right.
You know, it can help us have it.
Help us prioritize, right? Yeah. It's just like you get zoned in. And
got that life advice.
Yeah, you know? like you more, but there's so many things I'm collecting. But like right now, I think I need to get on my Werewolf by Night issues before they go crazy.
You need to take your own advice. You should have got on that a couple weeks ago.
I've been on it, but I'm not finished with my run. I don't have all the issues that I want yet. So
that and Tomb of Dracula, those books, those 2 titles are getting freaking pricey.
It's insane. And even 7 months ago, I know me, Morbius, and Scheme were all like neck and neck to complete the Tomb of Dracula.
I got 8. Mine is 8 books, but I know I'm not gonna get 10. If I get 10, it's gonna have to be a mid-grade. You know, a little funky. You know what I mean?
That's where I'm working on. I'm about 8 away. 8 away.
I'm telling you, bro. Rom is another one that's on my list.
Don't tell people. Don't be talking about it.
The Marvel horror stuff, I mean, I just happened to be cursed because that's what I love. And that's what I kind of started collecting from the get-go. And I've only been collecting for 7 months. So it's like, you know, I was probably already too late coming into the game collecting that stuff. But now, especially, I have a fire under my ass where I'm like, now everybody else wants Marvel horror because everybody's speculating on Marvel horror. So I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, I mean, there's other things though that we could focus on that maybe not everybody is running to right now, and that can help us out, you know. So
you see, like right now, for those who don't, I'm trying to wrap up my Marvel team up. That's why I've been dropping a lot of Marvel team up, because I've been slowly trying to, you know, on the low. I'm letting you know right now. I'm putting it out there. You know what I mean? I'm going heavy with the team ups. That's one of my focus right now.
You know,
I'm trying to, man, I'm trying to knock it out. I got a decent amount. Yep, and I just want to finish that, and I got another one, but I don't want to say what it is because then I got to go.
No, keep it to yourself.
You know, make it hard for me to get these ones.
Listen,
but definitely
finish it and blow it up,
man. I don't know. Pick up those Marvel team ups, man.
And I have experienced with Moon Knight, like how good it feels to already have certain things that like blow up.
Yeah.
After you know, after you've completed a run, or after you've been collecting things like your Marvel Spotlight 5. So I bet you felt on top of the fucking world when those books blew up. But also, I mean, you had to have had a little bit of foresight when you bought 28 copies of the book.
No,
but
no, honestly, like this.
But you must have been happy when you were able to cash in on that. Just like
I was, because like I said, I was able to put a lot of money into things I wouldn't normally buy. I don't have 600.
Cute.
Got kitties over here. We got doggies over there. I don't have that kind of money to just throw around. I don't have liquid money like that. Like, you know, it's my wife and I. That's it. You know, we live our lives and we afford what we can afford, and that's it. You know,
I prostitute myself, so
yeah, I don't blame you. You do what you got to do.
It's downhill from here, folks.
But yeah, it felt good to be able to sell them, but only because I was finally able to. In my mind, I traded these books for these items.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
That's how it felt to me.
That's how it would feel to me too. Yeah. You know, oh, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No. As it stands right now, I'm missing one Ghost Rider statue, and I have one Marvel Spotlight 5 I might sell to be able to afford. It could be yours. I got a really hot deal on an XM statue. I got to close this out. This is where I don't have a couple $1,000s to throw at this statue. And she would kill me if I was like, honey, I dropped a couple grand on a statue. It'd be me and that statue living on the sidewalk. So yes, speculation, because it's overinflated these prices, may solve that problem for me.
Right. And that's what I'm hoping I can cash in on down the road too, because I don't have thousands and thousands of dollars out of pocket to drop on Werewolf by Night 32 or Marvel Spotlight 5. But I want those books because they're my favorite characters, and I would die to have them in my collection. So I figured, okay, like I said, don't hate the player, hate the game. I got to play the game a little bit. So I've started to dip my toes slowly into maybe buying some multiples of books that I think are pretty rad that people might end up wanting down the line. And certain characters appear, certain team ups happen, and maybe 6 months or a year from now, I can take that money and put it towards my grails. And I think that is healthy and that is great. And you have to have a balance. And so, I can't hate on that.
Yeah, so I just want to give a quick shout out to the 19 people that are still here with us.
What's up, everybody?
I appreciate you.
Thanks for hanging with us, guys.
Everybody, appreciate you. Of course, just real quick, I just want to highlight Mr. Thomas Jackson, Professor Horton, who says, I'm done with any X-Men stuff. Sir, I believe you are done with collecting in general.
I think he has every single X-Men book.
Okay, so if you're not following Professor Horton, follow Professor Horton on IG. This man's collection is amazing. He don't need to pick up any more books. He's done. He doesn't need to worry about speculation. You know what I mean? He has no concern.
That's the level I'm working to get on.
You know?
Yeah.
Did we say hi to Sheena yet?
Yeah, we did. We give a shout out to Sheena.
Okay,
earlier.
there's a second.
Yeah, yeah,
Sheena.
Yeah, just give a shout out to Matt.
Hey,
in
Matt.
the building. Appreciate you.
Matt.
Yeah, Sheena was
Matt's
in the building.
awesome.
Oh yeah, I give a shout out to Sheena for sure, for sure. She gave a shout out to all of us.
What's going on, Sheena?
Sheena's the best.
She came in. Yeah, she's been here for a minute.
So, to what you were saying, you know, if you can flip your way into getting some of those bigger books, that is awesome. But it leads me to another topic about speculation, the end result. You know, Michelle, I know you're newer to collecting. Judging by the way you're collecting, you're in. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, I'm so sorry to welcome to your new addiction. My name's Michael, and I'm an addict.
Yeah.
My friend
I've already admitted. I've already admitted.
Yeah,
I'm there.
As a collector for as long as I have.
You know, like, so it's funny you say that. It's funny because, not to interrupt you real quick, I was having a conversation about collecting with a coworker of mine, and the way I was talking about collecting, where I'm like, yeah, you know, I really gotta chill with this, you know, because I got this coming up, you know,
I know
I really gotta, you know, conserve myself. You know, there is something else coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm really gotta. And he was just like, yo, you think you have a problem? And mind you, this dude like does not know shit about. He knows about the Marvel movies. You know, he's just that's it. That's as far as it goes for him.
Yeah, but
when he said that to me, it was one of those where I was just like, oh damn.
Yo,
right?
Really? Either he's watched enough.
Does it show?
He's watched enough episodes of either My Strange Addiction or what's the you know?
I don't know, bro.
Homie got a problem.
Then you start telling him how you can't walk around your room because there's too many boxes on the floor.
Right, exactly. You're just like, yo, I can't even walk in my room. I'm stepping over stuff. I'm actually getting rid of the futon just to make room in my room so I could get more boxes in. And he was, I'm telling you, man, that reaction was priceless.
I got two rooms now. People say, well, you know, what are you going to do when you run out of space? You open up a second room.
You get how Justin, of course, when you don't have no room, you just get a bigger house.
Yeah,
right.
You go down this door here, and that's the storage room. But you go
of
up.
Justin.
Hey, what's going on,
man?
Justin?
Oh, hey,
just talking about you, brother. What's going on, brother?
So representing down there.
We some sharp looking people, brother.
But that's what I quickly realized I had to. We had a storage room, and I was like, all right, let me Tetris all the other closets around the house so that I can make this storage room my comic room, and that's what I've done. I can't imagine the day that I run out of room in there. Then I'll really be calling you guys like help.
Yeah,
exactly.
No, but that's so funny.
Yeah, so, it is what, you know, and it goes back to, you know, the whole speculation thing. I mean, one thing you got to say, you know, it is beneficial. Because I don't want to keep hitting it, you know, on the nail when it comes to the bad aspect of it, because you have people that I know I'm friends with who necessarily collect, but they collect their own way. You know what I mean? They're not like obsessive, really passionate collectors like we are, but they collect, but they're mostly sellers. You know, they're on the seller end of it. They're on the retail end of it. And they actually make a living off of, you know, selling books. This is how they feed their babies. So speculation to them, you know, works out in their favor, which I understand. You know, I get that, you know, and we can't knock it because that's how these people, but when he's not okay, now let's verify here, or let's get more specific. He's not trying to take advantage of the people he sells to. So he's a very he's out there to really genuinely sell the books at what they are, at what they're valued, you know, and people, because of speculation, they want to get these books, they want to get ahead of the game. And he's like, hey, if you want, here you go. You know, let's make that money.
Well, I'd be just as happy for your friend that you're mentioning now as I would for my local comic shop owner.
Right, it's the same thing, right?
It's the same type of thing. You can't
IG who do this, you know, and they really, you know, they make a living or try to make a living off it, or this is their only income. So they really hustle this hard to really try to make an step. But they also collect, and then you have others who don't collect, and are just in it to just try to take advantage of the people, up the price on these books, take advantage of the speculation, and that's where the game gets fucked up.
So that's where I want to jump in back there. I want to bring it back to that point I was going to bring up. So you and I have been collecting a long time. You've been deep in the market, watching the ebbs and the flows. The 90s boom. And everybody said, oh, we're in the 90s boom again. No, we're not. We're in the 2020s boom. This is a different one. This is completely different from what we saw in the 90s. But all through, the late 90s into the 2000s, yes, absolutely low print runs because nobody was reading comics. Nobody was interested. All those books, though, that people were paying top dollar for crashed. And yeah, there's a handful of people out there who are going to pick up those books. Us, we're going to stick around and pick up the pieces. Where it becomes an issue is getting stuck with the hot potato. By playing into the speculation market, I moved all these Marvel Spotlight 5s. That's great. I got all this crap that I normally wouldn't have because I bought low. Somebody else is going to get stuck with that hot potato one day, though. The mass public, they get bored with stuff. Clothing styles come and go. And they come back. Like, hey, the 90s look is back right now. I'm loving it. I think it's great. It's a good look because, 90s kid. But as far as it goes, like, there's going to be a time when the market falls out. And
check it out right here what Coffee and Comics is saying. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry. So
yeah, no, he's absolutely right.
It goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It's tough, I left the job to start my shop. So I get the want to raise prices in books. I try my best to keep them at cover price and fair market price. I mean, that's
which you should.
You gotta put food on that table,
and you have sellers like this, that are really trying their best, to be fair, and they really want to be fair. But once again, it's like, it's a fine line. I mean, are you going to really, shoot yourself in the foot in the sense of the word, where that you could make an extra $10, $15 on what already you're tagging it up for, or maybe even more, and people, they're going to pay for it. But then again, you're also battling that, that other side where you're just like, fuck, I do want to be fair. I don't want to take advantage of people. But at the same time,
I agree with that.
Going up, bread is getting more expensive.
If you're that seller, though, that has 10 of this book, say, you're not going to sell all 10 of them for a fair cover price to one person that's coming in shady, trying to pick those books up to flip. But you know what? Maybe you'll sell a couple of them to some regulars. You know what I mean? Like hook some people up.
Right.
And it's all about how you approach it. And I think anybody with a book that has started to skyrocket should be able to take advantage of that for sure.
Where it bothers me, where it's unhealthy and unstable, is shops are doing the right thing. I got no problem with shops. Even some shops do some things I may not like, but in the name of business, they're probably doing what they need to do to keep their business afloat. Right. But hustlers are going to hustle. And with that, if you have a heart, there's a hustler out there that doesn't. They don't care. They realize I can get this at this price, wait for it to pop just by doing a little research, make my money. And if this all falls apart, whatever, I don't care, man. I made money. Like, this all means nothing to me. It doesn't matter. Movies, all these movies, everybody loves them right now. They are on. Everybody enjoys them. But people are going to get sick of them. Like, people are going to move away and get sick of the superhero genre at some point. I don't know when, but they'll just be, I'm sick of these movies.
The thing with that, I think that right there, because you have such a big market right now, I don't see it. It's going to happen, of course. Just like everything eventually has its time. You know what I mean? Whatever goes up must come down. That's a given.
I don't see it being anytime soon, but I mean, nothing can sustain forever.
Right. Nothing sustains forever, but I don't see it, like Michelle just said. That was the point I was trying to make. I don't see it happening anytime soon because of where we at. You know, in this market of where the comic, should I say, where comic books and the comic community, the way it's established now, I feel that it's going to be a really long time before that actually fades out, because once again, you have new comics characters that they can introduce constantly. You know, favorite character that people want to see, so they're going to keep catering, you know, to the community, giving them, you know, that character, that universe that people want to see. You know, so I think that that's going to last a long time. But with that said, you know, you're going to have, of course, the speculation that goes along with these new characters and along with these new, you know, introductions that are going to happen down the pipeline. But once again, I feel that what we were saying before, if you use this to your advantage, you know, you come out winning, you know, and like you said before, so if you've came to a point where you had to get rid of stuff and you took advantage of the speculation at that time to help. So we can't fully knock speculation,
no,
you know, but I'm going to say that we cannot fully endorse it either, in the sense that where it's going to hinder somebody from collecting, or it's going to hurt somebody's collection, or in other ways where it's going to fuck up the market, where it's raising prices, you know, unnecessarily, even on books, like Michelle said earlier, that haven't even dropped yet. They're still in the publisher house. You know what I mean? They already have a high value because of some type of speculation, you know, or it was option, some bullshit option they love to do. They love to option something, and the shit stays optional.
Every day. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It makes me feel bad for some of maybe like younger people or guys, girls coming into the hobby that don't have a reason to be collecting or a love for the hobby, but are just kind of you can kind of get wrapped up in the speculation game with all the information that you're constantly being fed through social media platforms, that some of these guys, like, they might just like not even realize what they're doing and be buying 10, 15 copies of this new book or that book or that book. And then before you know it, they're either like losing money or they're just like completely just out of the loop, you know? And
it's really,
that just kind of makes me sad to see that. Or the people that are like only buying 9.8 modern books, and that is all that they know, and they don't have any other connection to comics. And I think the market, the modern spec market, can fuel the 9.8 chasers, and that's a whole kind of subgenre of this community that I have noticed. You know, but there's so many little. It's like a whole spider web of speculative stuff that we can discuss. But that I don't like when I see that, you know.
You know, it's right. It's crazy because going back to, you know, these slab collectors and stuff like that. It's like, you know, my thing is like, you know, what are you? You're not reading your books. That's number one, obviously.
You can't.
So, you can't. Right. Exactly. You can't read.
Unless you buy a digital or you buy a reprint or whatever.
And how many are doing that? Let's keep it real. How many are doing that? Bullshit. Because if your whole mind state is about a 9.8, your mind state is about MONEY. It has
100%. There you go. Clip that.
The book. If your mind state is on that, if your passion is towards that 9.8, like, yo, I've had people say, yo, if I don't get a 9.8, I'll just get rid of it. I'll sell it, or I'll open it up and do something, try to get the whatever. Like, to them, if it's not a 9.8, it's shit. It's garbage. Get the shit away from
especially for a modern book, you know. For a modern book, it's like,
you know.
And why else would you only want a 9.8 slabbed modern book? It's not because you love the shit. It's because you want to make money from it, right? I mean, unless I mean, 99% of the time, that's why people are chasing it.
Right. I'm going to say 99.99% of the time, if you're chasing those books at that high grade and that's all you talk about and that's all you posting, like, and that, nigga, like that, get out of here with that. It's all about money for you. It got nothing to do. You know, I've heard guys say, like, you know, I'll battle people for their 9.8s, you know, on here. I'll pull out 9.8 of what? A whole bunch of moderns, bro. Like,
I'll pull out 9.8s too. I'll pull out 9.8s all day.
But my point is, they're saying it in the sense of, if I look at a 9.8.
9.8.
Right.
It's 9.8.
There you go. Exactly.
It's a 9.8.
So if I look at a 9.8, I'm not looking at the number per se. I'm looking at the book itself.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it's not a value. So they're looking at a 9.8 value. I'm looking at a 9.8, what that book is really worth. Like, okay, you got a very sharp book, but to me, that's still, you know, an $80 book right there. You know what I mean? And it's a dope book. It has this. So to me, it's like, I don't look at the value. When I see a 9.8, I look 9.8 as condition.
Yeah.
You know, not value. I look at it as, okay, that's a sharp book. You got a clean book, not as, oh, that's a very expensive book.
I mean, there's nothing wrong about looking at a book for its value. I mean, I don't sell any books, and I haven't yet. And one day I hope to sell some stuff to fund my grails. But you have, even if you're not planning to sell something, it is great to look at the value of your collection as an investment, and seeing it grow is like, hell yeah. So
to me, it's like, it means so much more if you have the book. He rolled it up. It means
he's gonna start smoking it.
It means, to me, it's like, if you're gonna get a book, man, don't go trying to flex if you got it at retail price. Like, you don't tell me you got that 9.8 and the 9.8 is going for 10 grand and you spend 10 grand on it. It's like, bro, you can't flex. You can't even tell me if you got that 9.8 and you spent 3 grand on it, 2 grand, let's say, some crazy shit, and that shit is worth 10 grand, 15 grand. Now then you could be, to me, I would feel proud about that shit. Like,
I mean, more power to you. And people have all different ways of collecting, and there's all different combinations of investing and reading and collecting and raw and slabs and all this stuff. But you know, if you're carrying yourself in a respectable way, whether you're a buyer or a seller or an Instagrammer or a YouTuber, you know, I can have love for you, and I can respect and appreciate what you're doing. But we all know that there are people out there that are taking advantage of the market, taking advantage of people on both sides, and that are just acting arrogant. And unfortunately, we see that a lot with speculation and how people approach it.
And I think a lot of that speculation feeds that. It breeds that mentality.
It does. Yeah, I can see that.
You know, it's right, because it has the speculation is the bottom dollar. You know, it's all about money when you speculate, because it's all about you getting the most out of your dollar. It's about you getting a book for cheap, and then it's worth a lot of money, and then you could eventually get rid of it and make your money. So
well, not always though, because not everybody that is speculating is doing it to eventually flip the book later. Like for me, I'm speculating because, you know, maybe some things I want to sell and make a profit, but most of the time I want to get in early on the books that I love, that I need for my collection.
So I'm going to say this, like, I watch Comic Tom, you know, I'm not a huge fan, but I want to know what the hell's going on. So if I need to hurry up and get this book, like, I really like this character and I want to close out that run. Maybe this is my indicator to hurry up and get this one taken care of, because it might be off the table later. You know,
and like Comic Tom, there are other channels out there that are really good sources, like TiVo from Lords of the Long Box. They have a couple shows, like a long-term spec show and Letters from the Long Box show. They have their friend Mikey Sutton, who's an awesome guy. He's kind of like an insider that comes on, and he has really great information that just from watching them over the last few months, I have learned so much. And I would be stupid to ignore the information that I'm being presented, because it's like, you might as well be a smart collector. And if I can save myself money now, or I can make myself money in the future, why the hell am I not going to do that?
Right.
To that comment there. Now, here's a speculation. Here's a form of speculation that I absolutely love, because it helps the publisher, it helps the collector, it helps the store. Listen, Immortal Hulk, those books being $10, any random book, $10. Like any random book from that series, $10, because the book is good.
Good. It's
the current Daredevil, any random book in that series right now. I heard the trade paperback. The trade paperback is $65 for volume 1. Fine. It's not because of movie hype. It's not because of any other reason, because the book is fucking amazing. It's phenomenal. And if anybody hasn't read it, thank you, Justin, for pointing that one out to me. That book is fire.
It's kind of like the Stray Dogs. Like Stray Dogs started blowing up, and that's amazing. I definitely love to see that for the art, for the stories. You know, I mean, but not all of us are gonna speculate because of the read. Sometimes it's more about nostalgia or the character, or you know, like Werewolf by Night 32 is not the best read, but it's still a grail to me.
Right. So you know, like a lot of books a lot of these magazines, a lot of the, you know, treasuries that I collect and try to finish off, they're not, I try to read them, but like you said, Michelle, a lot of times it's like,
some of them are great. There's some old books that are like bomb.
I love it. You know,
like Tomb of Dracula. I like reading Tomb of
Dracula. Tomb of Dracula is awesome. You know, Vampire Tales is dope. You know, Vampirella. I love Vampirella. So it's like, but there are other books that I collect as magazines or treasuries, and I necessarily don't read them all, you know, because as soon as I open it, I start to read the first 2-3, you know, pages in. I'm already like, oh, okay, this is some, you know, they just wanted to have fun.
It's still dope for the nostalgia, for the characters, to have something from the 70s or the 60s that is like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
To me, treasuries is because of me growing up as a kid and me running into treasuries as a child is something that now every time I see treasuries, I gotta get them.
They're cool. I just have nowhere to store them. There's nowhere to put them. They're too big.
Mine are literally just on a bookshelf because that's it. I just found a flat space. There's your home.
Oh, man. Mine are under the futon I'm about to throw out.
I should have given mine to Morb, but I traded it in at my shop. It was a Defenders one. It was pretty freaking cool, but
that's awesome. That Defenders one.
I know. I kind of regret giving it away, but
dude, I don't even have that Defenders, man. But
I gave it to my shop owner, and he did not sell it. He kept it for his PC, so I felt okay about that.
That's what's up. Well, guys, I mean, we got about 2-3 minutes left. So, I mean, just overall, man, just to wrap this up, you know, as based on the conversation we had, which once again, guys, these are just our opinions. We're not experts. Yeah. We're not, you know, freaking the know-it-all of everything in comic books, you know, but this is just our opinion based on our experiences in collecting
our observations and
our observations that we see, you know, and based on that, you know, I feel that speculation does more harm than good, you know.
To me, and I feel the opposite. I feel like it's more healthy and beneficial than it is harmful. I would say maybe like 80-20, like towards the healthy side for me.
Yeah, I'm like 60-40, you know.
I'm like 100%. I freaking hate it. No, necessary evil. Everything has its place. You know, while I might not like it, and I think there's better ways it could be handled, as with anything, I'll just keep saying it. Hustlers are going to hustle. And that's just, they like my shit right now.
I said like 4 times, don't hate the player, hate the game, man.
Right, hate the game.
And do what you can to make it work for you going forward, seeing the trends in hindsight, you know? That's where I'm at.
I'm not going to speculate on when the movies are gonna fizzle out, and whenever all this speculation comes to an end. But I'll still be there, and hit me up, man. I'll buy them books. I'm not going to pay you what you paid for them, but I'll buy those books.
Without the MCU, though, I wasn't around before it. So this is all I know. And I can't imagine. I'd probably feel differently if I had seen the before and after of the market. And
so that was actually one thing I wanted to hit on too, is with the MCU, they're screwing up the comics. I'm tired of my comics, the history getting goofed up, changing people's names, changing people's histories. Stop goofing them up because of the movie. Nobody's coming. Very rarely are people coming from the movies to buy books. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's rare.
Well, the speculators are doing it.
Hell yeah,
they're not reading them. No, speculators are buying them.
Exactly.
They don't care what's inside. I care what's inside, and you're goofing up my books.
The MCU is comic market, whether it's with people that we love or not. You know, it is putting money into the hobby, and Yeah, I mean, it can't always follow the comics to a T, and it is annoying though. I hope they don't mess Moon Knight up because I will be very sad.
Oh boy, I can't wait to see your face. You should have seen me at Ghost Rider. I was at the premiere for Ghost Rider in 2007.
I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not watching the movie. I'm not watching the movie. I walked
out furious.
I'm not watching the old Ghost Rider movie. I can't.
Oh, it's so bad.
I'm not doing it.
Bad. It's so bad. Yeah. Oh, Morb froze.
Oh shit. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on.
Hey.
I can't even punch him properly. This is not happening.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh my goodness.
I guess we're over.
Yeah.
Unless we're still here.
Well, no, we're still live right now. So
we are still live.
I think what we should do, since Morb left and it's about the end of the show, we were going to wrap up anyway. We'll click out and then we'll try to reconnect with him like backstage.
Okay.
So thank you guys. Thank you guys, everybody, for being here and for joining us for Comic Relief episode 26. Hit up Sove and myself and Morbius on Instagram. Sove, you don't have a YouTube, do you?
I don't.
Yeah, me neither. So yeah, IG for us. Yeah, same. So yeah, we hope to see you guys back next week. And yeah, thank you everybody.
Absolutely.
Have a good night,
Morbius,
guys.
for having us.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry you froze at the end. Oh,
he's back.
We were just closing out the show.
We were outroing for you.
I was like, of course, at the end, this had to happen.
We were closing it out. I was like, all right, y'all.
I see that.
Yo, thank you for having us both on. Thank you so much,
you, brother. I got you. You're not Paul. I could take it, Paul. What you talking about, son? What you talking about? There you go. That's what I'm talking about. The resurrection. I'm back, sir. No.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like y'all's awkward closeout. Let me come back and do it right.
Guys, thanks a lot. Guys, for those, I planned that just to say, I planned
Don't do that to us.
Guys,
just see if a couple Instagram people could do this, right?
Right.
Yo, appreciate you. Thank you for everybody who was on here. Thank you for everybody catching the replay. Make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit these guys up. Their link is in the description. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. We catch you on the next one. Y'all already know. Peace.